So this is my shot surrounded. I'm shooting on a Sony a7R II with the Sony 90mm macro 2.8. I'm shooting at f4 at 1/30th of a second at ISO 400 here in the shade. The basic technique for focus stacking is as follows. I pick my focal point, which is the tip of the Triceratops beak, and I take a shot here, and then I take a shot here, here, click, 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 click. And I basically want to end at this blue guy. All right, so now that we have that, first things first is we're going to set the color balance. By default, this is the guy right here. That's a little too warm. So I'm going to click this guy. Well, a little too cold, but I'm liking that. It's very subtle, but I like this. If you don't have a chip chart at home, use a single white sheet of paper or a white piece of cardboard, something white or something gray, and just be very consistent. Use the same piece over and over. That way you have the same white balance wherever you go. I'm going to copy these settings and highlight all these guys. Let me see. Now there it is, the start of our focus stack. I'm going to copy everything. So now that I have that copied, all I need to do is come over here and export. I'm going to do full JPEG focus stack. Now, I'm a video kid, so for me, in the past, I've always tried to do the biggest file sizes possible, just because in the video world, the more data you have, the better image you're going to have generally. With photo, you can kind of cheat it a little bit. If you go back down to JPEG quality at 100%, that's fine. It's going to be a pretty big file. Even if you go to 90%, that's fine. For web, you want to be at around 76%. But because this is going to be photoshopped and everything, I'm going to keep it at 100%. 90% is still a lot of quality if you don't have the fastest machine out there. But 100% is everything. 90% is still going to be awesome anyways. I still need Adobe RGB for this because I'll be editing in post. Resolution 300 pixels per inch. Scale is fixed. 100% of the image, blah, blah, blah. Destination. All right, so these files are going to be about 30 megabytes each. So the bigger files you have, the more processing power you need. So I have all these guys highlighted. I don't need those last guys. So now I'm going to go over to Affinity Photo. For those of you that have not heard of Affinity Photo, this is a fantastic app. It's basically Photoshop in a slightly different way. You pay $50 up front and that's it. It's your app for forever and ever and ever, basically. You can buy the iPad app or desktop app, Mac, PC. It's $50 each, but for $50, if you have one computer, then you don't really need multiple licenses. Anyways, this does a lot of what Photoshop can do in its own way, of course. And it's kind of smart too. So a lot of my friends really love it. I really love it. So we're going to go into new focus merge right here. And we're going to add photos. Freddy General, outflanked. So we're going to grab these guys, open. Okay. And it's going to do its thing. So if we take a look here, look how crisp that is. Not bad. We got a couple spots over here that can be fixed. So we got a lot of little areas that we can fix, but we'll get to that. So there you go. That's a basic focus stack technique. If we zoom in here, there's a couple problem areas that we can go in and fix, but we can take care of that later in Photoshop or in Affinity. So I learned that this was not the best example for a focus stack tutorial. There was a lot of what I'll call focus noise, specifically in the grass area. There's just so many blades of grass at different distances, especially here closer to the actual toy. It kind of fades, and you can kind of see this haloing, or this glow actually. I'm just going to leave it in. I have done enough post-processing on this image. I got more shots to do. So I think it's successful. It's a successful shot in the story I was trying to tell, although it's lacking a little technically. I'll definitely revisit this. This was good practice for the actual shot I have storyboarded. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, and good luck out there, guys.